Thanks for joining us on Weekend File. We are live in Abuja. Provision of infrastructure for meaningful national development has remained pivotal to the agenda of the present administration since 2015, with huge investment already made. One of the areas the government has called high is in road construction and reconstruction, which is a key component of urban and rural development. There is nowhere across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country that one will not see federal government's presence in road construction and reconstruction. This is largely driven by strategic interventions by the government. Now, recall that in October 2021, the government granted approval for the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to take over the reconstruction of 21 federal roads across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country under the Road Infrastructural Development and Refurbishment Tax Credit Scheme, which was signed by President Muhammadu Buhari in January 2019. The executive order seeks to encourage public-private partnership and the construction and refurbishment of road infrastructure in Nigeria. Don't also forget the Highway Development and Management Initiative, HDMI, which serves as the interface with the public as government continues to provide roads across the nation. Currently, the government is executing over 700 different contracts, which aggregates to the rehabilitation and the reconstruction of over 13,000 kilometers of roads and bridges across the 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory. It is work in progress, and Nigeria is expectedly going to be better for it. Do join us in the conversation tonight on Weekend File, Federal Government Interventions on Road Infrastructure in 2021 and Expectations for 2022. Our guests are Engineer Saidu Hassan, Deputy National Chairman, Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, and Engineer Chukwunweke Obonna Uzo, Director, Highways Planning and Development, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. I am Kenen Ima Abodike. The news now. Let's start with security matters, as President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed outrage at the latest reports of several villagers being massacred by fleeing bandits in Zamfara State. Reacting to the large-scale killings, the president described it as an act of desperation by mass murderers now under relentless pressure from the nation's military forces. President Buhari, in keeping with his commitment to tackle the monster of terrorism head-on, reassures the besieged communities and other Nigerians that the federal government will not abandon them to their fate. While promising that the criminals will be history, the president appealed to the affected communities for patience, saying his administration is fiercely determined to smoke out and destroy these outlaws who have no regard for the sanctity of life. He extended his sympathy to the survivors and the families of those killed, saying the Army and the Air Force are working together to track down and eliminate the criminal gangs that are subjecting the innocent people to the reign of terror. Minister of State for Agriculture Mustafa Baba Shehu has enjoined Nigerians to support government and security agencies' efforts in tackling the security challenges in the country through prayers and provision of credible information. He was speaking during a national prayer for peace and security organized by the Kano State government. Abdullahi Mustafa has the report.
That was Sheikh Ali Bel Arabi, global leader of Tijaniya Sufi order. The Algerian scholar led other clerics in praying for an end to security challenges bedevil in the country. The prayers were preceded by supplications and recitation from the glorious Quran. This Minister of State for Agriculture, Mustafa Baba Shehu, noted is what the government of Nigeria and security agencies need to win the war against criminal elements.
We are doing everything possible to support our gallant military personnel, but we also need divine intervention to seek the grace of Allah to end the scourge of insurgencies in this country.
We have to thank Mr. President for all the efforts that he is putting, and we assure you, here in Kano, we will organize prayers for this country every year to ensure that there is peace
Emir of Kano Aminu Ado Bayero and prominent Islamic scholar Sheikh Dahiru Usman Bauchi thanked Kano State government for organizing the prayer session and urged Nigerians to make it a daily ritual so that lasting peace and security could be achieved in the country. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
In the meantime, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) in Yobe has apprehended a septuagenarian alleged to have specialized in the making of fake local and foreign currencies. The commandant, NSCDC Yobe State Command, David Navaki, paraded the suspect in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital. Adam Yusuf has details.
The 75-year-old suspect was arrested in Gaydon town in Yobe State alongside a 23-year young man allegedly belonging to the same syndicate. The suspects reportedly have expertise in the business of producing counterfeit naira notes, American dollars, and other foreign currencies. So far, investigation by the intelligence units of the command had indicated that the two suspects are accomplices in the same criminality. In a related development, a suspect intercepted with 35 kilograms of cannabis sativa in Fika has been handed over to the officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for further investigation.
Our organization is saddled with the responsibility to prosecute criminal offenses, that is, on any criminal matters. Against this background, we have that mandate. Our legal unit will handle such.
The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps further reiterates its commitment to enhance the synergy with other security agencies to rid the state of criminal elements. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf, NTA News.
Away from politics, as part of efforts to resolve the internal crisis within the All Progressives Congress (APC) in Ogun State ahead of the 2023 general elections, members of the APC National Reconciliation Committee have met with aggrieved members of the party in Abuja, Ogun State, to resolve pending issues. Yemi Dalemo reports that the committee was led by former governor of Nasarawa State, Senator Adamu Abdullahi.
Arrival, the APC National Reconciliation Committee met with Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun and other party leaders, including former Ogun State Governor Olusegun Oshoba. Chairman of the committee and former Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Adamu promised aggrieved members with genuine complaints fair hearing.
Those on this side of government and party, you are magnanimous. You have to have listening ears, because in unity lies strength.
Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun and former Ogun State Governor Olusegun Oshoba advised the committee to be fair, just and unbiased in the course of carrying out its assignments.
The chairman was reminded when you were talking about fairness, about equity, and about justice, which is our motto. You know, we stand for what we call good governance.
Thereafter, the committee chairman and members engaged former Ogun State Governor and Senator representing Ogun Central Senatorial District Ibikunle Amosun and some leaders for 2 hours behind closed doors.
As the practice we have adopted is that we always talk first to those who petitioned, so that we can have the crux of the issues raised in their petition explained to us the best they can. We've just accomplished that.
Senator Adamu assured that the committee will submit its recommendations to the leadership of the party in Abuja for amicable resolution, as the party is desired to have strong and responsive party members in Ogun State. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Still on politics, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has debunked some comments and speculations from certain individuals claiming that the party has zoned its presidential ticket to a particular part of the country. The party spokesperson, Debo Olobunawa, in a statement says this is completely misleading, as it does not in any way represent the position of the PDP. It adds that the PDP is a political party founded on democratic principles, and every action of the party, including zoning, is based on extensive consultations, discussions, and consideration of all the issues, as well as the various tendencies and interests across the nation, with the main objective of ensuring that the unity, peaceful coexistence, and the development of the nation are reinforced and promoted. The PDP therefore urges its teaming members and supporters to completely disregard what is described as unfounded zoning claims as being peddled. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has sent a congratulatory message to the family of the Minister of Education, Adamu Adamu, who married off their daughter, Barrister Fatima Zara Adamu, at a ceremony in Azare, Bauchi State. In a message which was conveyed by a delegation of ministers and personal aides, the president wished the newly married couple a happy life. President Buhari described marriage as the foundation of the family, adding that it should be a lifelong union. The delegation was led by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, and made up of the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, and 3 senior special assistants to the president. President Muhammad Buhari felicitates with Brigadier General Jonathan Ndam Temlong, retired, on the occasion of his 68th birthday. The president joins family, friends and associates in celebrating Jonathan Temlong, who throughout his career as a military officer demonstrated dedicated service to his country and Nigerians. The president recalls the celebrant, while in service, earned several commendable citations for his outstanding service in Yaoundé, Cameroon, at the height of the Bakassi crisis, and holds the second highest national honor, Officer Ordre National, OON, for military services rendered as the President of the Republic of Chad in honor of his heroic achievement. The President trusts that General Temlong The President knows that General Temlong, who is a strong supporter of this administration, will continue Let's quickly go to the very next report, which says that a delegation from the presidency has condoled with the family and people of Kano State over the loss of a renowned Islamic scholar, late Ahmad Ibrahim. Muhammad Ali reports that the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Isa Ali Pantami, and that of Information, Lai Mohammed, expressed President Buhari's worry for the loss.
The 8-man delegation, led by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Isa Ali Pantami, was received by the deceased family at Sudinyole Mosque. Minister Pantami, who took time narrating the relationship between President Muhammad Buhari and the deceased, later read the heartfelt condolence message to the family.
Mr. President has prayed to Almighty Allah to forgive him and to be merciful to him. Particularly, he is very dear to Mr. President. He has been following most of his activities, particularly recently on the 6th of November 2022. We were here in Kano when his Muwatta Malik was launched, the translation of Muwatta Malik. Mr. President was represented in the event, and he personally gave me a copy to convey to His Excellency Mr. President. And Mr. President is so much worried about that, and he prays to Allah to forgive him.
Very grateful to the President for sending this delegation. We express our gratitude and extend our thanks to him and the federal government of Nigeria for this concern.
The delegation also visited the late Alhaji Hassan Naif residence, who died recently, and condoled with the family. Prayers were offered for the repose of the departed souls. Muhammad Ali, NT News.
Chairman, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, has lost his first wife, Zainab Marwa. A statement by the family on Saturday, 8th January, said Zainab Marwa died in the early hours of the day at the age of 66 after a brief illness. The deceased is survived by 4 children and 10 grandchildren, as well as her siblings and aged mother. During her lifetime, she championed the cause of women and the girl child. The statement added that a burial arrangement will be announced at a later date by the family. President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, has commiserated with the victims of the fire outbreak at the Central Market in Nguru, Yobe State. Senator Lawan sympathizes with those whose shops, stores and warehouses got burnt or lost materials in the unfortunate incident which occurred on Saturday morning. Senator Lawan called on the relevant authorities to investigate the cause of the incident with a view to preventing a recurrence. The Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, Boboye Oyemi, has commiserated with the families of the victims of the ill-fated fatal road traffic crash that occurred along the Kano-Zaria Expressway. To reduce such fatal accidents on the nation's highways, Boboyo Oyemi has ordered commanding officers to step up enforcement on the installation of speed limiting device by commercial vehicle operators nationwide. The FRSC boss, who expressed deep concern over the ugly incidents and the loss of precious lives that followed, stated that bringing to an end speed-related crashes is one of the cardinal strategic goals the Corps intends to achieve in 2022. The two vehicles conveyed a total of 45 passengers as at the time of the crash. Out of the 45 passengers, 26 were injured, while 19, comprising of 15 male adults and 4 female adults, died. You're watching Weekend File on the NTA Network Service. We'll soon be back after the break. Welcome back. The year 2021 was a year of harvest following the completion and inauguration of critical road networks across the country. Abdullahi Mohammed reports that this is a revelation of the investments by the federal government in the development of critical infrastructure across the country.
Of wasteful man hours, unavoidable loss. Suddenly, a jolly ride expanding thousands of kilometers across the country, bridging international boundaries while linking critical cities within, the strength of our unity, yet adorable diversity. This is the new reality of Nigeria's road rehabilitation. It may have been a Herculean task putting the road network in order, but a calculated step demystifies the logic and never say never approach to the mining of fund or the issue of sukuk at the forefront. The icing on the cake has already been laid, and 21 stagnated road reconstruction will be reignited. A little above 621 billion naira is made available by the NNPC, which gives the Ministry of Works and Housing a vibrant start in the new year.
We hope that this will enable them now order their materials, order their supplies, multiply their machines and equipment and roll out work, especially in this dry season.
Before the new year, a marching order from the ministry pushing contractors to keep the roads on their watch potholes free. That has no doubt made its impact, and steps in the new year a promising start.
We don't want to be defined by the challenges you are seeing. We want to be defined by the progress we are making. And I am hopeful that with the support and the commitment of this administration in terms of improving the infrastructural stock of the nation, definitely we will get to the promised land, inshallah.
Nigerians are eyes wide, with ears to the ground, expecting the gift of good news of road inauguration, just like what they got in the last quarter of the year 2021 in Abuja. Abdullah Muhammad, NTA News.
In 2021, the government engaged in massive rehabilitation of major roads in Lagos State, and the city now wears a new look. 2022 looks also promising as more roads have been projected to receive similar attention.
The state of roads in any setting significantly impacts on the economy. With the ease of movement in Lagos, road users are applauding the federal government for the infrastructural intervention that has transformed the metropolis.
If you secure the road, the economy will be very fantastic.
Before, you cannot move here to here. All exhaust, everything concerning your motor will break down. But now, you can go my two easily at Bambo, at VI, easily within some minutes.
Road construction and rehabilitation align with the National Infrastructure Renaissance Program of the federal government. In Lagos State, federal roads are categorized into East with 378.96 kilometers and West with 378.36 kilometers of roads. Some of these roads that received federal government intervention are Bega Suya Maximum Prison along Kirikiri Road, Jibo to Ikorodu, the Ikorodu-Shagamu Road, as well as the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, which, by the way, has reached an appreciable level.
Amadu Bello Way, part of Lagos Island was done, part of Simpson Road was taken care of. These are areas within the fair section that we have transformed to good.
The noise has reduced a little bit along Lagos-Badagry Expressway, We are also making some progress over there. So government has really put in so much. And we also do hope that more work will be done in 2022.
The outcome of the road rehabilitation scheme has not only eased traffic congestion, it has countered unnecessary loss of man-hours. While road users are appreciative of the federal government's intervention so far, they are in a hurry to witness more rehabilitation works in 2022. In Lagos, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
And with the onset of the dry season and contractors returning to site at the Umuahia Ikorebene Federal Road, traditional leaders have appealed to residents to cooperate with contractors for the speedy completion of the road. Steve Lonai Mokolo reports.
A 62-kilometer Umuahia Ikwano Ikorebene Road project, which had been on the drawing board since 2016, is funded by the NNPC to the tune of 13.2 billion naira. The stakeholders meeting attracted the traditional rulers from Umuahia and Ikwano, representatives of Federal Ministry of Works, Federal Road Safety Corps, the Michael Okpara University of Agriculture Umudike community, amongst others. Chairman on the occasion, Professor Onyebuchiku Azubike, who outlined the economic importance of the road, enjoined stakeholders to cooperate with the contractors handling the Umuahia Ikwano Ikorebene Road project to ensure its realization.
Any effort in making sure that this road is fixed should be encouraged by every well-meaning citizen of this place.
This is the road that you use to evacuate things from Calabar Port. And this road also leads to, apart from leading from here to Akwa Ibom, sections of Akwa Ibom, it leads also to Calabar and leads up to the Cameroons.
We should all work together to make sure that there is, easy way of doing things.
The traditional rulers are going to make sure that nothing will ever affect this job.
Facilitator of the road project and member representing Umuahia Ikwano Federal Constituency, Sam Onibu, appealed for concerted efforts in ensuring that contractors have unimpeded access as they resume work on the road. In Umuahia, Steve Lonai Nwaokolo, NTA News.
Our guests on the program joins us live in the studio tonight. Let's start from Engineer Chukwunwike Ogbonna Ozo, who is the Director, Highways Planning and Development, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. Thank you for joining us on Weekend File.
Thank you. Good evening.
We also like to introduce Engineer Saidu Hassan, Deputy National Chairman, Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, NITE, which is also a division of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Engineer Hassan, you're also welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you. Good evening.
Perhaps we should start off with you. Tell us, how do you appraise road construction and reconstruction across the nation in 2021 and even going forward?
Yeah, in 2021, we have a game changer. The game changer here has to do with the Executive Order 7, which was signed by the President in 2019. This has brought a lot of intervention that will change the construction of roads in Nigeria in terms of funding, because the major problem we have in our road construction is funding, because most of the funds that are allocated and budgeted for are not enough to carry out this construction. You find out that by our calculation, a road will be awarded, it might take up to 16 years to be constructed. But with this intervention, within the next 1 or 2 years, most of this road will be concluded. And this intervention have come in the form of the Sukuk and then the NNPC intervention, which covers almost 40 roads, with a total of over close to 3,000 kilometers.
Let's talk with Engineer Ozo. You've heard Engineer Saidu Hassan there talking about the funding being readily made available, and perhaps that is why we are seeing this momentum in road construction and the reconstruction across the length and breadth of the nation. How do you react?
Well, I think the federal government is facing the issue of improving the federal road network holistically. First, the funding from the budget, then you have this intervention through the road tax credit scheme. You also have the ADB and World Bank and China Exim Bank facility. And you now have even private firms writing to participate in that road tax credit scheme. So it means the government is getting it right, and the public believe firmly in what the government is doing. You can just look at the Sukuk, where the DMO was seeking for 250 billion, and the subscription was over 850 billion. So it means even the private sector, who you don't force to invest, they now see the potential and they know what is happening in the country.
But then it appears that the intervention by the federal government seems to be the missing link all this while, and we're getting it right at the moment. Now, we are going to even hinterlands where people never expected they could see good, motorable roads. We have them right now under construction. But a lot of people are asking, what is the time frame? When are we going to have these road constructions and the reconstructions, duly completed for use?
You see, everything that is happening is working according to a plan. First, there's a plan, and the federal government has planned what is happening in a very systematic manner. Let's take the issue of the NNPC roads. It's tied to the energy security of energy distribution in the country. So these 21 roads they are funding, if you look at the roads, they are majorly on the route A1 to A9. Those are the critical roads moving from the south to the north. Any of these roads that gets bad, you now see there's a disruption in the supply of energy, petroleum products, diesel, or petrol, or gas. So that is one. Then you also see the Sukuk is also mainly also on those routes A1 to A9. So there's a plan. Once we get those routes A1 to A9 correct, you find out that at least we now start facing the other roads that link these major arterial routes, because most of the goods move from, look at the ports, from Lagos up north, Calabar up north, Port Harcourt up north, like that. Those are the major roads that are in the country, and this is working according to the plan. As the federal government is also working on the roads, the bridges are not left out.
Exactly.
You have the major bridges, Cotton Carfi Bridge, the Makurdi Bridge, the Katsinala Bridge, Eco Bridge, Marine Bridge, Third Mainland Bridge, all these bridges. Even at times you won't see any work on the surface. Some work is going underneath. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, Engineer Saidu Hassan, now from the perspective of NITE, which, and by extension, Nigerian Society of Engineers, which you represent, could you tell us something about the quality of these roads, constructions and reconstructions, not also forgetting the bridges at the moment?
Yeah, the quality are of the highest standard, and most of our members are involved in this construction work all over the country. And we as a society, we are also monitoring their activities. We from time to time visit this construction site to make sure that our colleagues are adhering to the specification that guides the construction of those roads. And the quality even involves adding other, we are using some of the materials being used today by the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing have to do with also climate change friendly. The type of bitumen that has been applied is climate change type of material that with less of carbon in it. And our members are really involved, and we really support the Federal Ministry of Works, but we also want to see that our members are involved in some of these schemes, and so that they should be involved in some of this. The ministry should partner us to make sure that we support them to have quality and durable roads that are being constructed. And also, as much as we applaud these policies and this intervention, we also want my colleague from the ministry in terms of planning to see that, because some of these, like the Order 7, has a time frame of about 10 years. We want to see, after this construction, what are the planning, what are the ministry doing in terms of maintenance. Our members want to make sure that this maintenance culture is being followed, the routine and periodic maintenance are being carried out on this road. I hope those are also included in their planning stages. That is what we want to see in our society. And also want to see that our members are involved and participate, like Executive Order 5, that says that most of these works, engineers should be highly involved. Our president has been hammering on that, and we want to see us involved so that this transfer of technology should be seen to be done, and along with this road infrastructure that is the basic economic mover of any economy.
Engineer Saidu Hassan, we're still very much with you, and of course, Engineer Uzo. Let's quickly go on break on Weekend File. When we return, more reports. Thanks for staying with us on Weekend File. Traffic congestion is a common sight during festive periods along the Enugu-Onitsha and Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway. Comfort IM, however, reports that this has considerably reduced following the ongoing road rehabilitation work.
The massive road rehabilitation in the southeast in the last 6 years by the federal government is yielding a positive result. 90 kilometers Enugu-Onitsha Expressway through Anambra axis, an abandoned project over the years which has brought untold hardship to the people, is now a thing of the past. And many who traveled for the festivities through the expressway were speechless on sighting the new look.
It will almost double the GDP of the two regions in the country. Before, you cannot, 3-lane cannot move there, but now 3-lane will be moving there.
61 kilometers Enugu-Port Harcourt dual carriage expressway, awarded in 2017 after solving the difficulty in getting a walk yard, which led to the delay over the years, is now receiving attention, and that of Ozala-Akbugu Road, 40 kilometers. While some are either completed, others are in advanced stages of completion. In December 2021, Nenwe Oduma Federal Road, which links south-south, was completed and inaugurated. Meanwhile, another bridge across the River Niger will soon be opened for traffic, while the entire 11.9 kilometers project, comprising the main bridge, 3 others, and connecting roads, is above 80% completion.
It has a kind of economic umbrella approach, both to the southeast and the south-south.
You will find that most people that coming here to trade, they've all diverted. So with the completion of this, I will say kudos to the Buhari administration.
With this on ground, the message is very clear. The 2022 target delivery of the entire second Niger bridge, the people maintained, will be a breakthrough, looking at level of commitment by Buhari-led administration. In Enugu, Comfort IM, NTA News.
The quest to open up the economy of the Niger Delta and reduce the impact of oil pollution are some of the reasons behind the federal government's multi-million naira infrastructural project and the cleanup of the Ogoni land in the region. Robinson Derataide has an update on the level of work on some projects in Rivers State.
Rivers State is among the states with the highest federal government road investments, having the 37.9-kilometer dual carriage border Bonny Link Road, the 9-kilometer Port Harcourt-Aba Express Road, and 2 sections of the ongoing East-West Road stretching from Imbiama-Yenegua axis down to Eleme in Rivers State. In spite of the difficult terrain, the 120 billion naira border Bonny Road project has recorded about 35% completion, with 3 bridges out of the 13 bridges, while the River State section of the 8 lanes dual carriage Port Harcourt-Aba Road is about 80% completed, with vehicles plying it.
I really appreciate the government because if not the effort they put in, definitely the way the work has been going and stop on and often, maybe up till now the work will not continue up to this extent.
I know where the road they bad, but now no more go slow, no more crying. Everybody's enjoying it. They're going to bless Buhari.
Motorists have heaved a sigh of relief at the east-west road, given that the contractor has completed the deplorable spots and abandoned lanes from Element to Emoa axis, with the Choba Bridge 80% completed.
It is a highway road whereby heavy duties apply, small cars apply. Since it's a dual road, obviously it will reduce the accident rate and mortality rate in the road.
When somebody is doing good thing, you have to applaud him to do more. So they are really trying, because if they didn't go this mile, there is no way we would have been happy with the federal government.
Not less than 5 completed sites in the ongoing Ogoni Land Cleanup project are already flourishing with vegetation, with 6 out of the 18 water projects almost completed to provide clean water for the people. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Deratede, NTA News.
We still have Engineer Uzo and Engineer Hassan with us on Weekend File tonight. Let's quickly go back to Engineer Hassan as we look at expectations for 2022. Still talking about roads infrastructure in Nigeria. What do you say?
High expectation in 2022, because most of these projects are now will start yielding their dividend in 2022, because the deliverables will be in 2022 upwards, because some of them are just beginning to get the mobilization to carry out these works, and most of the contractors, I believe my colleague in Director in Works knows that they are now moving to site, and with this we'll have most of our road in 2022 will be a game changer in terms of road infrastructure in Nigeria, and veritably it will also affect the economy, because that can also move our economy.
About the economy or the economic impact of these roads, Engineer Obonna Uzo. Sustaining it is indeed very paramount, because all of us are looking at 2022. We would like to see some of these things, concretely completed, and so the end users will begin to feel the actual impact. So it is 2022. The expectations are very high. Now you are speaking like an expert in this field. What do you think we're looking at?
First, there's an economic story to any road infrastructure project. You have people who supply lubricants, who supply reinforcement, who supply cement, laterite, the drivers, the operators. It's a whole industry on its own. So even when you pay the contractor money, most of that money goes into paying all these suppliers, and this is a value chain that adds to economic activities in the country. That is one part. The second part is that in the Federal Ministry of Works, no work is certified unless the work is protected. So it means that whatever is protected, you will have asphalt. That is the black covering you have on the road, and the road is open to use. So it's like immediate value. You start deriving the benefit of completing that road, even though it's not yet completely finished. So that's the measurement we have, that once you have that asphalt, people can start using the road, and we are seeing the benefit. Now the other thing we are seeing, which is bad, is that because the roads are getting good, we are now seeing overspeeding.
And accidents.
We are seeing accidents. And we tell people, you see even on the road, the maximum speed is 100 kilometers an hour. Please, the road, even though it's good, is not a racetrack. Lower your speed. Even the passenger has a role to play. Watch what the driver is doing. If it's more than 100, shout and get him to slow down, because it's better it takes you 2 hours to get to your destination than you want to get there in 30 minutes and you never get there.
All because of
the speed. And now what the Federal Ministry of Works is doing, we are now installing digital speed meters on the road. As we are recovering the roads, so as you're even driving, you're seeing your speed. So even you, the passenger, once you're doing more than 100, it changes from green to red. It's like warning you to slow down. So if you see it, tell the driver to slow down. And you're seeing the carnage. It's mainly vehicles carrying other passengers, even the driver. You're carrying other people's fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers. It's a lot of responsibility. So you have to help us tell people that even though the road is good, and it's not even everywhere that it is that 100, that is the maximum speed. If you're approaching a bend, you see the right like 80 or 70 is telling you the maximum speed for this. And why overtake where you have the continuous, you see the road, it has meaning. Where you have the broken line, it means you can overtake. It means you have enough side distance. Yeah. Where you have the continuous line, don't overtake. We feel sad. We have done the road, and it's now causing another bad distance, crashes, and loss of life, limbs, and even the vehicles, because these are also people's means of livelihood.
So while these roads are being constructed and people are enjoying it, they need to be careful and maintain safety protocols.
Lower their speed.
Exactly. Our engineer, Saidu Hassan, you've heard Engineer Uzo. While these rules are there, after much clamor by the people themselves, a lot of them are taking advantage very negatively this time and getting themselves hurt. In fact, sometimes the accidents become so fatal, and that's because the roads are now good and highly motorable. So what are you people doing about it from NITE and NSE?
We are talking about safety now. We have about 4 or 5 cardinal points of safety in road. We have the vehicle is safe, the road is safe, the road user, and then the signages. These are the basic cardinals that control safety in any road, in any highway. So the user has to do with the driver himself, the person driving the vehicle. The road, which my colleague has said, are now going to be in very good shape and condition and are being abused. So this is where we have the people attitude has to change in terms of our NATO vehicle owners and road safety and other people. The advocacy have been going on by the Federal Road Safety Corps, by us, whereby we have to follow this cardinal principle because the road has been made good for you to ride on. The user also has to, like he said, has to follow the signages. The signages are also make sure that you do the right thing at the right time. Then the vehicle itself has to be in good condition for you to put it on the road. And then that is where we look, we have to have more advocacy. And then this other speed something sign that will now be introduced by Federal Ministry of Works is very good, whereby you can see green or red so that you can warn your driver on, look, we are being warned by that indicator there. So I think the society itself, we have to change our attitude because attitude also matters. So with government providing these facilities, people should please make sure they obey and follow these rules because the rules are not meant for government. These rules are meant for the people who are using the roads. So if you violate the rules, you are not violating government, you are violating yourself. So please, this is an advocacy. We in the society will partner with other people to see that we carry out this advocacy to make sure this carnage are reduced on our highway and we can get value for the money of being spent on these roads.
Engineer Uzo, your last word on this topic tonight, federal government intervention in roads construction in 2021 and then of course expectations for 2022. Round it up for us because Nigerians are happy.
Yes, 2022 will even be more. Because the target of the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing is completion. That is his mantra now. Completion. And you will see each quarter now what will be completed and handed over for public use. Like I said, speeding is one abuse. The other one is this issue of overloading. Okay. Because we are spending so much money to get these roads good. If we overload our trucks, then you damage the road in no time. So let us watch so that the facility, the infrastructure lasts for us.
Thank you very much, Engineer Chugumike Obona Uzo, Director, Highways Planning and Development, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. Thanks indeed for coming on Weekend File. And also Engineer Saidu Hassan, Deputy National Chairman, Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, NITE, which, like we told you earlier, is also a division of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Thank you for your time tonight on the program. All right, let's go for our final break on Weekend File tonight. When we return, sports and more. A report just reaching us indicates that 30 students of Federal Government College Birnin Yori in Kebbi State have regained their freedom this evening after about 7 months in captivity. The students, comprising 4 girls, 26 boys and their teachers, were the latest to regain freedom. The students are currently at the Government House, Birnin Kebbi, where Governor Atiku Bagudu is conferring with them. Details of the report in our subsequent bulletins. Let's now join Olumide Oguntola for Sports Update.
Hello, warm welcome to Sports Update. My name is Olumide Oguntola. As the 2022 Africa Cup of Nations starts on Sunday, the Super Eagles of Nigeria is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that the team surpasses its previous achievements at the tournament.
With a promise to come out prepared against the Pharaohs of Egypt on the 11th of January 2022 in our first Group D game. Africa's most prestigious tournament will feature 24 teams in 6 groups to rekindle old rivalries. Postponed due to bad weather conditions and spread of COVID-19, the tournament will now hold between 9th of January and 6th of February 2022 in Cameroon. For the first time, video assistant referee VAR will be used in all the games of the tournament. Favored to lift the trophy are Nigeria, Senegal, Egypt, Algeria, among others. Only time will tell which of the teams will be crowned the new African champions.
Okay, Super Eagles equally have the same chance like other countries.
The Eagles are a tournament team. That's where I have my belief.
Meanwhile, supporting the Super Eagles for outstanding performance at the Nations Cup is the goal of the Nigeria Football Fans Club, which is the purpose for this road show. The president of the club stated that the passion for the country and football remains their drive.
It's known and seen as the 12th player, but then we need the moral support and financial support.
From the Nigerian Professional Football League, round 5 matches will be played on Sunday across various stadia of the federation. With 59% home wins, clubs at home will be open to get the 3 points at stake as Enyimba hosts Shooting Stars of Ibadan. Sunshine Stars is up against Kano Pillars, among other matches. In the Nigerian National League, 8 teams will be playing for honours at the 2022 Eco Football NNL pre-season tournament scheduled for the 19th of January at the Teslim Balogun Stadium.
We think that the more they play, the more they can fine-tune whatever flaws they have in their teams. Know where to strengthen.
We are expecting high results from them, so we need to do our own part by preparing them very well for the task.
Dr. Solo FC will play against the Joy Comment Football Club, while Smart City will trade tackles with G12 in Group A. Group B matches are Ikorodu City Football Club versus Sporting Lagos and Box to Box versus Van Dresser Football Club. With Sports Update, Olumide Guntola, NT News.
Up next is weather report for Sunday.
Come to Sunday's weather forecast. We start off the day with early morning mist and fog expected over the coastal parts of the country. Later in the day, there are prospects of rain showers to parts of Edo and Delta states. However, to the inland cities of the south, we anticipate partly cloudy skies with a hazy atmosphere, while the north central up to the northern region are expected to be sunny and hazy. I'm Theodora Itum. Thank you for watching.
The NTA is vehemently against rape and rapists. Endeavor to join us in the fight against the menace. My name is Kenan Ima Abolike. Thanks indeed for watching Weekend File tonight, and have a good night. Bye-bye.